Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Again, World of Tanks Blitz. This time I will be talking about the brand new Tier 7 hybridization heavy tank, the Lightbringer. Well, it's no more brand new. Only one day left in this event, and this is the last chance, at least for now, to get this vehicle from level 20 from the Vortex of Souls event. Here we go. This is the tank. We can get it from level 20 if you, of course, got yourself the pass. If you didn't have, the level 20 will be unlocked with the tank. Well, yeah, so I'm gonna talk about equipment, provisions, consumables, what we need here about this vehicle, stats, what we have on paper. We're gonna check out the armor of this vehicle, and then I got for you some gameplay to show you how to play with this tank. And in the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you my opinion about this tank, worth it or not, if you should go for this vehicle, yes or not. So let's start about the equipment, and we are starting already with the biggest problem or issue about this tank, which is the penetration. So we have here, as you can see, using calibrated shells, 249mm of penetration, which is really, yeah, pretty weak to penetrate tier 8 or tier 7 heavies. We will have big penetration issues if you don't use calibrated shells. Even with calibrated shells, we will struggle a lot to penetrate tier 8 heavies with this vehicle, also some tier 8 TDs. And that's the first point, what I don't like about this tank compared to other tier 7s like the Smasher, OP tier 7s, with 281mm of penetration, and also Forest, which etc. have better penetration than this vehicle. Also, of course, a better DPM. Yeah, 2.2 without Gunrama. We must go for calibrated shells. With that, we will have only 2100 DPM, which is also pretty poor compared to Smasher, Annihilator, Tiger 1, Black Prince with nearly 3k DPM. Okay, so let's keep going. The enhanced gun laying drive for a shorter aiming time, the refined gun, and with that we have actually a good accuracy, 0.269 of gun dispersion, not bad at all. Improved modules, improved assembly, go for more hit points. I'm gonna show you later why I'm not using the enhanced armor. Enhanced tracks, improved optics, engine accelerator for a better mobility, and here we have something positive. We have really a good mobility for this vehicle. Yeah, 32 km per hour of average speed for a heavy tank is really not bad at all. And the high-end consumables, we have Adrenaline, so we can use it longer. I'm going for safety first. I'm using repair kit and the multi-purpose restoration pack. To the provisions, more speed with the improved fuel and mobility, and here more view range, yeah, DPM, etc. going for the field rations and the tinned food. So we nearly got it all. Let's just check out our damage, what we can deal here. Damage per shot, 270 damage per shot with this tank, sometimes even 300, 310 with precision fire, up to nearly 400 damage per shot. That's really not bad at all. And point of alpha damage, this tank got really good, okay, decent alpha damage. Of course, compared to Helsing, Annihilator, Smasher, the other OP hybrid nations tanks, it's not that high, but it's still okay. It's got more than the average tier 7 tanks in point of alpha damage. We got, without using calibrated shells or without using Gunrama, we will have here, yeah, 7 point, how much exactly? 7.7 off reload time with this vehicle. And yeah, as I told you, penetration issues, and we don't have also the best gun depression, only 6 degrees. And now let's check out the armor of this tank. And yeah, let's have a look, guys. This is how our armor gonna look like against a tier 7 heavy tank. Well, as we can see there, with or without enhanced armor doesn't make a huge difference at all. So that's why just go for more hit points, and we are very easy to penetrate here. Our hull, even some weak spots on the turret, by just a tier 7 heavy tank without calibrated shells. So if the Tiger 1, go for premium shells. Even if we try to go hull down using our 6 degrees, we still very easy to be penetrated here. The hull as well, everywhere, okay? There is no need to do some angling, because if you try to angle, we still have here those spots. They are easy to penetrate, and on the turret as well. So I'm really very upset about the armor of this tank. Okay, yeah, I hope that Wargaming will just buff this armor, because it's really awful, and yeah, I don't like it at all. You will be just lucky if you just will block some damage, because only, let's say, beginner players who don't know how to aim or don't know which is weak spots, etc., will maybe miss the shot. And here we are talking about the tier 7 tank. So if we play against tier 8 vehicles, yeah, of course they will have it easier to penetrate us. TDs, no need to talk about them. But even here, tier 6 heavy tanks will have no problem to penetrate our armor, and this is really not the case for other OP tier 7 vehicles, and that's why, yeah, the armor of this vehicle for a heavy tank is just garbage. Don't try to rely on it at all, and that will of course affect our playstyle playing with this vehicle. So here we go, our first battle against tier 8s and 2 tier 7 tanks, so against higher tier tanks. As I told you, the problem of the armor will affect my playstyle. That means I will try not to play very aggressive. I will not go frontline with this tank and risk getting destroyed just in few seconds or the first minutes of the battle. Yeah, the trash armor of this tank, after playing a lot of battles, yeah, made me playing with a heavy tank like a medium tank. So I'm always trying to go to medium side if my teammates go also medium side, if my team split. If not, of course I stick with my team. And why? We saw it why, because of the trash armor. I can't go frontline like playing with a Tiger 1, or play hull down like with a T-29, or going and doing some side scraping or angling like playing with a Black Prince. We can't do all of this stuff with this armor. And yeah, I saw what we have good about this tank. It's the mobility, it's the strength of this vehicle, and that's why I decided to play it like a heavium tank. Okay, so I use my speed and a bit fast follow time using adrenaline to surprise some enemies, to finish them first. If you go, for example, the advantage of going medium side with this tank is that we have a chance to block more damage, because of course mediums and lights don't have that good penetration like tier 7 and tier 8 heavies or TDs, and those tanks will have really no problems at all to penetrate my armor. They will just, yeah, slice my armor like a knife slicing butter, and that's why we gotta be very careful playing with this tank, and that's why I'm playing it like that, like a heavium tank. And this is really after playing a lot of battles with this vehicle, after struggling a lot. If you want to go heavy side, go. You will just wonder why you are getting penned, and you will just get destroyed in a few seconds. We saw it with the armor inspector that we can't even play hull down with this tank, because even if you are in a kind of hull down position trying to use our 6 degrees of depression, our turret still very easy to be penetrated, and that doesn't make any sense. Frontline, flat ground, as we can see here, the AMX 50 anyway, having no problems to penetrate my hull or of my turret. And that's why I'm playing with it like that. I try to go always medium side, and then from long distance I try to flank the heavies so that I'm not going to be spotted, and I can support my team from distance. And of course in the end of the battle, because I didn't lost my hit points, I start play more and more aggressive. And this second battle I got for you guys gonna be a Naval Frontier, and here playing against tier 7 and tier 6 tanks, and here we'll have maybe more chance to block more damage. As we saw, the first shot from the type 64 was blocked, and I'm going again this time medium side, but this time my whole team is going medium side. So yeah, of course I would go then medium side and try to stick with my team. So as we can see there, I was using my premium shell, and I wasn't able to penetrate the frontal armor of the Tiger B. Here, the T-25, a tier 7 tank, got no problem to penetrate my frontal armor. Why I'm upset? I'm talking a lot about the frontal armor because the video when Wargaming announced this tank, they say that the unpenetrable armor of the tank, and it's really bullshit. It's not the case. This tank got a trashed armor, a paper armor for a heavy tank, and yeah, I will just start talking about my opinion about this tank. So if Wargaming will not buff this vehicle, yeah, just leave your hands away from this tank because it's not worth it. Why? Because we have, as we know it all, a lot of competition under the tier 7 heavies, and especially under the tier 7 hybrid nations heavies. We got the Annihilator, OP, AF, we got the Smasher, we got the Forest Witch, we got the Firewall, and all of those tanks got, okay, Smasher maybe not, but Forest Witch, Firewall got a pretty sick frontal armor and more TPM than this tank. Better, at least, better shots, better penetration. And if you compare this tank, the Lightbringer, with also tech tree vehicles like the Black Prince, like the Tiger 1, like the T-29, they all have a better armor and better damage per minute. So I think it's gonna be stupid if you would go for a premium tank or a collector tank, wasting your gold or your money, and we know all that yeah, it's not that worth it, and we know, and you know all that this tank is not better than even tech 3 tanks. So why should we go for this tank if this tank is not performing better than tech 3 vehicles? We don't need to talk about the premium air and collector tank, which we already have in this game, like Smasher, Annihilator, T-45, etc. Okay, and yeah, that's why I'm really upset about this tank. So if Wargaming wanna make this tank more attractive to players and they wanna make money from this tank, of course Wargaming is yeah, a company wanna also survive and wanna sell tanks and generate some money. They must just give this tank more armor and more TPM, so at least this tank can compete with the best tier 7 heavies in the game. Yeah, that's my opinion about this tank. That doesn't mean that it's really awful if you know how to play. If you play it like that, as you showed you, we still can perform good battles, like in this one, 2.5, the last battle as well. But yeah, with the right tank, with a like Smasher or Annihilator, we can easier do much more damage than with the Lightbringer and struggle less playing with some OP tier 7s than with this tank. That's why my opinion about this tank, yeah, not worth it at all. So if you want to have a tank, if just to collect it as a collector tank for your garage because you want to get all the tanks of this game, okay, you can go for it. But if you are really searching for an OP, a very strong tier 7 heavy tank, which maybe help you to keep grinding your win rate, your stats, your average damage, and also just to win battles, it's not the case for this tank. That's my opinion about the Lightbringer. I hope you enjoyed watching this tank, I mean this video, and I hope that I could help you to have a better idea about this tank, the Lightbringer. It's all up to you now if you want to go for this vehicle or not. Thanks for watching and see you soon in the next video, tankers. Bye bye.